Let us now compare the advantages of building walls with AAC blocks in comparison to red clay bricks. After chipping and watering the foundation and the pillars, a thick layer of mortar of cement and sand in the ratio of 1:6 mixed with water is applied. As with bricks, the walls are erected by first placing blocks at the two corners. A water-level pipe is used to ensure that the corner blocks are placed in a straight line. A rubber mallet is gently tapped to straighten the block. A plumb line is used to ensure that the block is vertically straight. As in bricks, a thread line is tied between the two corner blocks for aligning. After applying mortar, blocks are then placed between the two corners. If there is a gap between two blocks, the length is measured. A major advantage of AAC blocks is that they are very flexible and can be cut into any shape or size perfectly with a normal hacksaw and the help of a marking triangle. These perfectly cut pieces of the required length can easily be used to fill the gaps in the wall. After the base layer is complete, the thick mortar is not required anymore. Another distinctive advantage: a thin layer of mortar of cement-based adhesive and water in the ratio of 3:1 is prepared for building the rest of the wall. The thin layer mortar is then applied with a trowel to maintain a thickness of 3 mm and avoid wastage. As usual, the layers are erected after first laying the corner blocks. Walls with AAC blocks can be built much more rapidly than red clay bricks because it is easier to handle due to its lightweight despite the large dimension. A water level is used to ensure that the wall is horizontally straight. Another gain of AAC blocks is that they do not require curing as required for red clay bricks. Just a sprinkle of water is required before applying the thin layer of mortar. Red clay brick walls need curing and plastering. The symmetrical AAC block walls are smooth and do not need any plastering. However, for better protection, as in the case of outer wall, if plaster is applied, then the mortar used for blocks can be a fraction of what is required for bricks. The plaster for red clay brick walls becomes thick, as the mason keeps adding thick mortar to the uneven wall to give a smooth finish. Eventually, it is 20 mm thick, whereas the plaster for blocks is about 10 mm only. Let us now look at other advantages of AAC blocks. A chase cutter can easily cut grooves as required. An iron chisel can then easily scoop out the unwanted material. After concealing, the flexibility of the AAC blocks makes it easy to place conduits and pipes. Though lightweight, the walls made of AAC blocks are sturdy and can effortlessly support heavy marbles. Large tiles can easily be bonded to the walls. The AAC blocks can be effortlessly drilled by using normal drill machine to add various fixtures. After drilling, the holes can easily be blocked with roll plugs and fitted with the screws. A wash basin, commode, and other fixtures can easily be hung onto the wall. As the AAC wall surface is very smooth, a wall putty can be directly applied on the surface of the inner walls of the house to give it the perfect wall finish before painting. Let us now study the comparison between AAC blocks and red clay bricks. To fill an area from pillar to pillar of 10.5 feet by 8 feet, 585 bricks were used, whereas, amazingly, only 50 blocks were used to fill the same area. The time taken for erecting the brick wall was 6.5 hours, whereas the blocks clocked at 3 hours only. To bond 585 bricks, 1,656 joints of 15 mm to 20 mm thickness, a thick mortar of 2 bags of cement and 20 cubic feet of medium sand was used, while to join 50 blocks with 162 joints of average 3 mm thickness, less than 1 bag of ready-mix thin mortar was used. The cost of thick mortar was Rs 1,120, whereas the cost of ready-mix thin mortar was about Rs 650 only. The cost of labor for 6 skilled and unskilled men for 6.5 hours was Rs 1,300, whereas the cost of labor for 3 men for 3 hours was Rs 350 only.